What's up, YouTube? We are back again with episode number 2 of my Road to 1,000 Rapid series. And let's just say, your boy got some coaching, all right? One of my followers, shout out my boy Mayo, he hit me up. He said, hey, man, let me help you out. He's a 2,300 player on chess.com, so he's damn good. And I'm kind of nice with the Vienna now. I'm not going to lie to you. So I decided to spend the time today studying it up, watching YouTube videos, taking notes, and I'm not kidding you. I'm actually taking notes on different openings, all right? I'm being serious about this. I want to be good at chess. I'm sorry right now. We're going to change that. Regardless, I tried the Gambit out, and I crushed the kid. I mean, I absolutely smashed this guy. 0 mistakes, 0 blunders. So we're going to dive into this game because I'm proud of it. And I want to show you guys, when I study, shit gets done, all right? So let's get into it. Okay. So everyone knows the Vienna Gambit. I'm not going to explain it. Here it is. I offer it. And right now I'm like, come on, man. Please take the Gambit. Please do it. I want it to, right? I've just been studying for hours. I'm trying to expose this kid. So I had my notebook ready. I was ready to go. I offered the Gambit. And he took it. Let's go. Let's go, right? So immediately I push my pawn forward. Whoops. Threatening his knight. So not only does he lose tempo, but he has an undeveloped piece. And, well, I'm in a very good position because I have my knight developed. After he undevelops his knight, I push my knight out to f3. So f3, hopefully protecting this guy, because I'm anticipating that he's going to push this pawn forward, which he does. If we're following the main line or whatever I just wrote down in my notebook for 3 hours, I push this pawn to d4. Played knight c6. I didn't really know what to do. I vaguely remember going over what you're supposed to do in these situations, like if he does this, but all I knew is that it was a mistake. It wasn't what he was supposed to play because it wasn't on the main line. I wrote down the main line. And now I think what you're supposed to do is recapture this pawn so that you're never down a pawn. But what I did is I moved my bishop. Oh my gosh. I moved my bishop to b5, threatening his knight. And then next turn, I'm going to take the pawn back. That's my plan. Because he still has no way. This is a hanging pawn. He has no way of protecting it. Trying to protect the knight, but it doesn't matter because I have my bishop and I can recapture his pawn. So right now, I'm pretty sure I'm winning. He has all these pieces extremely underdeveloped. And look at mine. I think I'm whooping his ass right now. I'm not going to lie. He captures with his knight, which is a mistake because I can capture with my knight or I can capture with my queen. And this is actually where I had kind of like a, what should I capture with? What's the best? If I captured with my knight, then what does that give me? I mean, I'm protecting this, so that might have been the best move, but it's already protected by this, so no, it's not. If I go here, 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 if I go here, 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 I do queen takes. That's protecting this pawn. It's threatening his a7. It's also threatening this one, even though it's protected. But regardless, I think that was the best move. He takes my, what did he just take? My bishop. What do we do? Take it back with my knight. And he has no response. None at all. I'm forking here. I'm forking here. I'm forking here. I'm forking everywhere. All right? He pushes his pawn up to c5, threatening my queen. I decide ultimately to move my queen back to d2. Because, if I moved it back to d3, he just pushes this pawn to c4. And, I would have eventually got to this position. However, his pawn would have been advanced, and I don't think that's ever good. So I move it back to d2. That way I'm protecting this bishop, which is super important to me, while also threatening this with this too. So I'm throwing it 3 ways. And I see that. I recognize that. Because something that Mayo told me, which I think is really good advice for anyone who's new to chess, is that whenever you're up, which I'm up +2 right now, whenever you're up pieces, ideally you want to trade because you're up pieces. So you just want to deteriorate his forces and keep on the pressure. So I see that this pawn right here on d6 is only protected by the queen and the bishop. And yet I have three. Oh, whoops. Excuse me. I have 3 attackers to his 2 defenders. So if I'm not an idiot and I do this right, I should be able to capture that. So he moves his pawn to f6, threatening my pawn on e5. I really don't want to lose this pawn. And yeah, it is protected. I still don't want to lose it. So something I've been trying to work on is how do you get him, like how do you force him to do something? What's the only way you can force? Well, there's a lot of ways, but what's the main way you can force your opponent to do something? If I capture this pawn on d6, I'm putting his king in check. And he has to answer that. He has no other choice but to answer that. If he captures with that, I take there. He takes with his queen. I take with my bishop. So I capture with my knight. He captures with his bishop, just like we thought. I capture with my pawn. And instead of capturing, he just moves up. I was hoping maybe he wouldn't see it because he fell for the gambit, but he saw it. He saw this. He saw this. So, I mean, I guess it's that. No, that's not that hard to see. It's not that hard. I'm giving too much credit. But I was impressed. I didn't anticipate this move. I decided to castle. I didn't really know what was best. And when in doubt, protect your king, right? I think that's a good, solid thing. And also, castling, I think this is called long. Queenside. I castled queenside. That puts this rook into the game. And it's also x-raying this king. This file, this D file is mine. I own it. Because look how many pieces I have attacking this file. That's my file. How many pieces do you have? 1. That's it. My file. And I can also now defend this rook. He castles in turn, so now he has another one, but I got this file. This is my file. I decide to move my queen up. And then I get this pinned off. So if I can get my rook up and over here, maybe I can win, right? He pushes his pawn to g5, threatening my bishop. And I'm like, oh man, what do I do? I just move it back. I protect it. After I move it back, he advances his knight to h6. And I'm all, he's not really threatening anything. He can't really do anything. And even if he does go to this square right here, what's he... You know what I mean? He's not really doing anything. And he's definitely not stopping me. So I decide free pawn. I take the pawn. He slides his king over because it's in check. He has no other option but to do that. He can't go down. He can't go anywhere. Now my idea is, okay, nice. We got him trapped. We got him trapped. Me moving this up, I'm still protecting this. And I have the idea of going here. While that's still double protected. Knight here to f5. I don't really think it did anything. I slide my rook over. And I believe he's starting to see it. He's like, oh no. Oh no. I'm getting my ass kicked. So what does he do? Which I think is the only good move you can do. Is he goes pawn to b6. Trying to threaten that. And take him out of the game, right? Sure, I can run and do that. But, that's there. Can't do that. If I move back this way... I mean, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to back up. So I'm like, what can I do? I can push my queen up onto a c7 and force a trade. And there's nothing he can do. Because I have this, and afterwards that puts him in check. So he's going to have to slide over. And then I have this protecting that. So I'm like, dude, it's Jeej, bro. I've got this in the bag. Queen to c7. He takes with his queen. I take with my pawn. Forking both of these again. And ladies and gentlemen, that's all she wrote. He resigns. I go up. And I hit 500. I'm in the 500 club. So what? It took me 2 weeks to get 500? 2 weeks in a day, 2 weeks and some change. It doesn't matter. All right? I'm putting in the work. I'm making it happen. I'm anticipating I'll be 1,000 by December. sticking with the Vienna for white and the Scandinavian defense for black, mostly because they focus on, what's the word I'm looking for? Peace. Oh boy, hold on. Let me go to my notes. Peace activity. Both of those openings focus on peace activity. Well, all right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.